Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from checkit.com here with an After Effects store on everyone's second favorite day of the week, Effects Friday. I've gotten way too good at saying that. Okay, so today guys, we're going over a nice request. I'll show you. I didn't want to render, of course you guys will see an example at the beginning of the video of this in full quality and stuff, but it just takes so long to render out 3D stuff in After Effects, so yeah, I decided not to render it out yet. But yeah, so this was a request. Someone was like, Eli, can you make a countdown timer thing? And I was like, of course I can, bro, because I love you. And speaking of I love you guys, we just hit 70,000 subscribers. I'm sorry that I have to get off topic a little bit. Check it out. Right now, I know like 14 of you guys are now going to go unsubscribe just so we get back down to 69,000. Wait, yeah, 69,999. I have video proof right now. We hit 70,000 subscribers. So thank you guys. I love you guys. And the next order of business to talk about before I get into the tutorial is that I made a vlog. Someone asked if I could vlog of like the daily life of what Brandon and I do on a daily basis. You know, it's kind of boring. Well, our lives are pretty boring, but I think I made it pretty fun. So it might be up tomorrow, so I'll put a link in the description and on here, so go check it out. It'll be on Takeover, and that'll be interesting. Brandon makes an appearance in it, and it's I think it turned out pretty good, so yeah, make sure you go check that out. And the last thing is, you guys saying, some of you guys, well, I mean like maybe 3 guys every once in a while saying that our tutorials are easy, and that like we should do more advanced tutorials, and to that I say, I hate you, because, I mean, yeah, our tutorials are easy, but that's because we explain it word for word. You really think that you could have figured this out by yourself, like this, creating this in After Effects all by yourself, dude? Like, I'm not trying to boast our own horn or our own horn or anything, but, I mean, they are pretty advanced. We just break it down for you to the point where you can read them. So I'm sorry, it makes me want to go twist your nipples so bad when some people say that. It's like, I don't know. Just stop saying that, because I just want to freaking Captain Insano your eyes and stuff. I guess there is no pleasing you. What is this? Is that Austin Powers? I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's get to the tutorial now, because I know I just made a ton of people upset that I've been blabbering on, but I don't give a crap. It's our tutorials. So anyway, yeah, I gotta delete this now, but I'll provide a link in the description. If you don't want to watch the tutorial, you can just go download it on MediaFire, and yeah, so have fun. Anyway, let's start a new composition. So go File, New, boom, New Project, and now we're gonna start a new composition. I don't know why I said that. I guess I just get nervous, guys. So click this little button to create a new comp. Doesn't matter what you name it. I'm gonna name mine Poop in space. Okay, and 1080p is fine, 29.97 frames per second, and let's actually make this only 5 seconds, because we don't want it too long. That's what she said. And yeah, so you're gonna have this blank comp. The first thing we're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to click in this blank canvas area over here and grab the nebula thing that I included. This could be any background, you guys. It doesn't have to be this nebula image, and I'll just show you it. I just found this on Google. You guys can use any image you want as long as it's big. Gosh, so many that's what she said jokes. But as long as the file is big and high quality, you can use it as a background image. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about in a second. But just make sure you grab a background that you like. I'm just using this royalty-free nebula space thing. So if you want to use it too, feel free to. So I'm going to drag and drop it down here, and now it's in the background. So how do we make it into that cool, crazy, like crazy background that you saw in the intro? Well, person, I'm going to tell you right now. But first, let's create a new camera. So right click, go New, Camera. And I'm going to make mine 15 millimeters because I want a very wide angle so I can see just a ton of stuff within the composition at a time. If you guys want a more normal looking you know, camera, you could choose 35 millimeters or 50 millimeters, but I like that wide angle look, especially in space. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And now we're going to make the background layer a 3D layer. And now you will see something. Where it says render up here, it needs to be in ray traced 3D. Yours might be in classic 3D, but how you change that is you go up to this where it says classic 3D, and you go down to render and you change it to ray trace 3D. And then you also want to make sure that your options are all the way down, because it might be at like 3 or something. This takes up a lot of like memory and stuff. Like, you need to have good RAM to be able to even mess with stuff on 2 or 3. So I'm just going to be safe and keep it at 1, even though our computers are pretty beast. But yeah, I just like to do that. And then when you render things though, guys, make sure that you change it back up to 3, 4, or 5, because you want that good quality. So anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get to work. As long as it's on ray trace, now you can right click on the image that you want to make the background, and you want to click environment layer, and boom, right there you already have the environment layer. Isn't that awesome? But as you can tell, it's not really looking that cool, but we'll fix that in a second. So now let's make our first text. So let's right click, go new text, and then let's just type in a nice 5. Well, I think I just typed 56 now. We want 5. So with 5, I'm going to go back to the move tool. Okay, so 5 is pretty small, but we don't want to size it up and lose the quality. So what we want to do is we want to make it a 3D layer. And then let's move it forward in Z space. So bring it closer to the camera. And now let's grab the orbit tool up here. It might be on unified camera tool. Just bring it down to the orbit tool. And let's turn this a little bit. So, oh no, we want it right about here. And we just want to position it exactly where we're going to want it. So I like that. Let me zoom out. I actually don't like where the 5 is, so I'm going to push it back in Z space. And we're just going to arrange it exactly where we want. So I'm just messing with the X and the Y placement. So then I'm going to size it up and hold shift if you clicked it there, and I'm just going to size it up. That's just messing with the scale. And now we're going to grab the rotation tool right here. And using this, we're going to hold shift. Whoa, or not. Holy guacamole. No, we're not going to hold shift, because that was cray-cray. Right about... About there looks pretty cool. And now, let's move it some more. Let's move her down. Okay. Okay. Move her right into the middle. Awesome. That looks awesome. So, now that it's positioned right, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to the drop-down menu for 5. And since you're in ray traced, you have all these new options for the 3D layer. So we're going to go down to the geometry options, and we're going to change it from the bevel style to, you could choose anything you want. Concave and convex look the best. I'm going to use concave, but it's way too large right now. That's what she said. I'm going to bring it down because I don't like it that big. Oh my goodness, what's up with all these? All these that's what she said jokes. Okay, so right now we have no frame of reference. Right now it's just a big white blob. So we're going to want to create some lights. So right click, go new, lights. And first let's create an ambient light. And this is where you get creative. So I see that there's a blue light down here. I see that there's a yellow light coming from behind. But the main color in this composition is this kind of reddish, maroonish color. So I'm going to try to match that. You can always just go right here and grab it. So yeah, I'm going to turn the intensity down to like 67 because we don't want it too overbearing. So now that makes it the same color as the background. That's pretty cool. That's our ambient light. Now let's create our backlight. So let's create another light. And this time we're going to make it a spotlight. Let's turn the intensity up to like 100. And then let's actually create the blue light first. So I'm going to just make some random blue light. Okay. Boom. And now we're going to zoom out, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to go from active camera to the top camera. And now we're just going to position it to where we want it. So I want it in front, coming kind of from over here. Push her back some more, and then aim the light at the 5. And then we're going to go back to the active camera and see how that looks. I don't like that 3D look that we have going on here. So what is this? Let's show, ew. Ugh. I'm about to throw up. Let's change this to convex. Oh, that's a million times better. Oh my goodness. It's about to throw up. No. What's angular? Ooh. Yeah, I like angular the best. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Extrusion depth. Well, we want her a little bit more thick. We like them thick, right guys? And girls, I'm not sexist. I'm not against your way of life. Okay, so anyway, let's find that light. Where'd it go? So 2 right here. I can see that it is way too high up right now. So let's go back to custom view 1 this time. And let's, okay, so we need to bring her down. Where's Y? There she is. Let's bring her down, because that's where the blue is coming from. Whoa, what did I just click? Okay, go back to the light. The blue is coming from the bottom. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, or if I'm just pay way too much attention to detail. We're just trying to match the lighting. This is going to be completely different if you use a different background than I use. So now let's go back to the active camera. And now I don't even... Is it even aimed at it? What the freak? What just happened? Why isn't it aimed at it? The freaky freak. I'm so confused. No idea why it's not hitting it right now. Let's go back to the top view. Maybe that... Oh, it's not even aimed at it. There we go. Just mess with the views, I guess. Okay, so now we have the blue coming from the bottom. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but it will look blue when we do the final step that I'm not talking about right now. So let's actually create another one by going Control D to duplicate that light. And now bring up the light options by double clicking the light 3. And now let's make this one a bright yellow, or kind of a washed out yellow. Cool. Make this one like 117%. Okay, cool. And now we're going to send this light to the back. So we're going to do the same thing. Whoa. Let's go to the top view. And let's grab the light. Z. Push her back. Then aim it to the back. And now what we're going to want to do is go to custom view 1. Oh, or not. Where's 5? There it is. Okay. So we need it aiming down, and we actually need to push it up because I know the light is coming from the top. Cool. Okay, so now we want to go to active camera, and now we want to position it coming from exactly where that light is. So let's push back. Let's go over and up. Aim her over here. Perfect. Okay, so now when we go to this unified camera tool and we move, you see, it looks like the light is coming from over there. So awesome. Good job, guys. Yeah. So now it actually looks like it's part of the scene. So here's what we're going to want to do now. Let's go to the 5. And now we're going to make it exactly how we want it. So go down to the material options. And this is where you guys can really get into it and change what you want and make it your own. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the reflection intensity all the way up so then it's really reflecting everything within here. And then you can change the reflection sharpness. I kind of like it a little sharper. That's what she said. And you can always turn up the roll off too. That just brings back the original color, but I'm not going to do that. You can always turn up the transparency as well, but I'm not going to do that either because I think it looks really cool having just some chrome thing floating in space. That's really, really cool. So yeah, we're doing good, guys. What else should we do? I mean, it's looking pretty good, but it's not exactly how I want it yet because the zoom is really far in right now. So let me go into here real quick. I'm just gonna turn out the zoom. That's gonna zoom in, yeah. Let's zoom out. It's way too far in. Yeah, way better. And let's move the 5 over. We need to find a good position for the 5 right now, or else it's never going to turn out good. Let's rotate it a wee bit. Let's rotate it a wee bit. Right there. Yeah. Nifty grifty. Okay. Whoa, no. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have it positioned and such, the last thing to really do is scale her up a little bit. So click, hold shift, boom, drag her down. Cool. Okay, so it starts at 5. So here is where things get a little bit more complicated, but just follow along, guys, and you will be fine, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go Control D to duplicate it, right? And that's doing it from 5. Or it's going 5, 6. What we want to do is we want to go to the text tool, double click the layer, and hit backspace. And we're going to make it 4 this time. What? It went 4, 5. We don't want that. So what should we do? Let's go over 1, delete that 5. Okay, so now we have a 4 and 5. That's going to confuse me. Sweet, it changed it itself. So if we turn off that, boom, we have a 4 with the same exact settings, but it's a 4 now, which is great. So let's just keep doing that. So duplicate, double click, backspace, and we'll do 3 this time. Perfect. Okay, turn that off. Make sure it's a 3. Perfect. And we're going to duplicate. Do it again. Okay. 2. And it didn't do it that time, but we'll go over 1, delete that, boom. We're at 2. Now the last one is 1. Duplicate, double click, 1. Make it into a rap song. Someone's got to do that. Auto-tune version. Shorty, yeah. Duplicate, shorty. Yeah, no. Okay. So we got all the way down to 1, which is perfect. Exactly what we want. And what I did in the original was I went from 5 to 4 within a second. So we have 5 seconds to work with here. So by the time it gets to 4, it'll be on 1. That makes any sense. But I'll demonstrate it right now. So let's hit T on all of these actually. Highlight all of them by holding down Shift and clicking on the top one. And then we're going to hit T to bring up the opacity. And now we're going to click off and then only select the first opacity right here. We're going to go to 1. We're going to click on the stopwatch for opacity. And now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over 1 keyframe. And you could do that by hitting page up on your keyboard or page down. Page down moves you forward. Page up moves you backwards. So we're going to hit page up to go back 1. And we're going to drag that keyframe from 100%. And then when it gets on 1, that's where we want to drag it down to 0. Okay? And then we're going to go to 4. You're going to click the opacity for 100%. We're going to go back 1 time slot. I can't think of it right now, whatever. We're going to go all the way down to 0. So what I just did was, if we look at this in a practical manner, it goes from 5 on this pixel, then 5 goes all the way down to 0, and then 4 goes all the way up to 100, and you get the next number in the countdown. So we're just going to keep up that process. So now 4, we're going to go down to 2 seconds. And now for this, we're going to just click and drag. You can always just click this keyframe, but it's easier just to create a new keyframe by just messing with it. And then we're going to click that keyframe over, and then we're going to go down to 0. So then on 2 seconds, it goes down to 0. But Right before 2 seconds, it's 100% opacity. I hope I'm not confusing the crap out of you guys right now. So we're gonna go to 2 seconds. We're gonna click the opacity for 100% on 3. We're gonna go forward 1. We're gonna click all the way down to 0, and now it does the same thing as before. See that? Just changes within that split second. Now we're gonna go down to 3. Oh man, I really hope I'm not confusing you guys too much. So at 3 seconds, we're going to make sure that 3 goes from 100% down to 0. And it's a lot easier once you get the process. So then we're going to click. I could be doing this really fast, but I'm trying not to confuse you guys. Going down to 0. Okay. And now we're going all the way to 4. Boom. Clicking it over 1. Then going down to 0. Then at 1, it goes from 100% to 0. Boom. And then 1 just stays there. But I haven't turned it on yet. So boom. Okay, I really hope that didn't confuse the crap out of you guys. Seriously. But if it did, watch the tutorial. It will make sense eventually. But yeah, so now we have this nifty, just check it out. Check out this nice animation we got so far. And then you can always put like a distorted voice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, fart jokes. So funny. Okay, so the last thing we got to do is animate the camera. So you guys don't have to make it as dramatic as I did in the beginning, but if you want to, you always can. Basically what I did was I went to the transform options, and the only two things that I messed with were position and point of interest. I also messed with the zoom, so we might have to do that as well. But then I went over to the orbit camera tool, and I just messed with the keyframes myself. So now it's really up to you. You guys just want to mess with the different settings until you get something the way you want. I'm actually going to mess with this to the point where it's not as intense as the last example you saw, but I just want it to be more subtle, you know, just a slight turn in the big nebula picture. So I'll bring you guys back when I get something that I like, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back. This is what I decided to keep. I think it turned out pretty cool. It's very subtle. It's a lot more not center as my last one, but I was kind of going for that, a more subtle look, more rule of thirds. This is more open over here. You don't see as much of the galaxy, and it doesn't look as distorted as the first one, which is cool. So yeah, the last thing that I gotta do is change the ray trace to options. We're gonna bring it up to, let's do nice 4. 4 should be just fine. And now change it from half to full, and then watch as your computer takes a dump. But the quality gets a lot better. So I guess that's a good trade-off. So I'm going to render this and then show you guys what we created together 3 times at the end of this tutorial. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if you guys want to see me render. It's so easy, and I've done it so many times for you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to render by now, so I won't do it. So I will see you guys next Friday on the next tutorial Tuesday. No, on the next Effects Friday. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.